my name is Natalie and welcome to Up Your Vlog. I am in a different room than I have been in my last videos. That's because I have officially moved to a new flat. We moved just because we needed a little bit more space, a bit more storage space as well. So we decided to move to a lovely new area. You've got parks nearby, you've got a pub right opposite us. It is just perfect. So my YouTube channel took a little bit of a backseat when I started my blogging, and I started my blog in September in 2015 professionally, and I did it daily, and yeah, that's when I really kind of focused on my blog. So I thought that I would let you know why my blog has been getting so much popularity and the sort of brands that I've been able to work with. So I am on a couple of websites, one being Bloggers Required, another one being the Blogger Program, and I discovered another one recently called Thomason. Not to get confused with Thompson's, the holiday company, Thomason. T-O-M-O-S-O-N. These websites allow brands and bloggers to collaborate, normally on a sponsored or gifting situation where the brand will send a product to the blogger and then the blogger reviews it and gives their honest opinion. So I have had the pleasure to work with so many different brands, both small and big, both new and old, so I thought that I would show you some of the brands that I've been working with. So I've had the good fortune of going to a lot of live events this year, one of them being The Joy of Plants. And The Joy of Plants is a company that are trying to encourage more men to have plants within their home for many different reasons. And I went there, I arrived quite late with my partner. We sort of had little canapes, drinks, the works. Sam got a haircut as well. And then I took some pictures, and then they gave us a lovely goodie bag, and that included some leaflets, some press release on the actual event, and then also 2 plants in pots. One was a cactus, and one was another sort of plant, but I don't know. I can't remember what plant it was. And they came in these beautiful brown jars. Now you will notice that there are no plants in there anymore. How's the best way to put this? I let them die. Yeah, I let a cactus die. And cactuses are very hard to kill. So I thought that I would chuck the plants out and hopefully reuse them in some way, shape or form. I've really been trying to get into fitness lately and finding different ways of aiding my fitness workouts in various different aspects. And one of the things that I wanted to try out was waist trainers. I've seen the Kardashians use it, I've seen other celebrities using them and raving about them, so I thought, why not try some waist trainers? The opportunity came up when I went on Thomason and found that someone was offering waist trainers to review, so I ordered a couple of them. One of them has gone to my friend Hannah and the other one is with me now. So it's just a simple black waist trainer with 3 sets of hooks. Each sort of, as you I guess, cinch your waist more and more, you can move in. I've just stayed on the outside because I don't necessarily want to crush my inner organs, because these aren't medically safe to use for prolonged amounts of time. I tend to use it either when I'm doing a really short workout or when I just happen to have a spare half an hour, 45 minutes to just put it on. I don't use it for any longer than an hour a day, just because I'm wary of the damages that it can do to your body. So I just wanted to try it out to see how it works. I don't think I'm going to use it a lot, but it was a good experience to try it out and say that I've worn a waist trainer. Another product that I received on Thomason with these trousers, sort of like a silky feeling material. They've got a sort of stretchable waistband. It's got a sort of funky hippie design on them. In terms of the way they feel, they are nice on, but I would wear them as pajama bottoms. I wouldn't wear them as going out in public in them, just because they do look like pajama bottoms when you've got them on. They don't necessarily go with casual wear. And also the waistband is a little tight, and I read on the reviews that other people were having the same problem in that the waistband was really tight on the stomach, so it was becoming a little uncomfortable, and I noticed that definitely. But apart from that, they are ideal pyjama leggings. I also managed to work with a brand on behalf of one of my friends on Facebook. Her name's Stacey Whitehurst. She is a very good family friend, and she works for a company called Unique. Now these are the 3D fibre lashes. My overall opinion of these are that they are a much cheaper alternative to wearing false eyelashes. They do exactly the same thing. They're not as thick and obvious that you're wearing falsies. They are much naturaler than false eyelashes. They have a sort of transplanting gel, which is a little bit like a mascara, and I would say you could probably wear it like a mascara, but the transplanting gel allows the fibres to stick onto your eyelashes. Now the fibres are made of a sort of almost like fluffy material. It was very weird to put them on first time round because they didn't look entirely right. It literally looked like I put fluff on my eyes, and then when I used the transplanting gel over it, it then made it look a lot more natural, and it made it sort of gel into my natural eyelash. I prefer just the one coat because it looks natural enough. If I applied 2 coats, that's when it looked a little bit too false and it wasn't the sort of look that I was after. But I think it's all down to preference. You might like the 1 coat, you might like the 2, you might like the 3. You can use as many coats as you want. You can just keep applying that transplanting gel, keep applying the fibres, and so on and so forth until you're happy with the results. But yeah, definitely worth the money. I think they're £23 to buy for both of them, and they probably last a few months. So a lot better for money if you are a regular false eyelasher. And finally, one of the many products that I tend to get are books. Now, there are so many opportunities on these websites to review books, especially on Thomason. You can review a lot of ebooks, but I prefer to have a hardback book in my hands. And I've received so many books to review, so much so that I set myself a challenge for this year to read 50 books, especially as the amount of books that I'm getting through the post is unreal. So these are just 3 books that I got. I have got the Jacqueline Wilson's Little Stars. This came with a little purple tote bag, a lovely Little Stars t-shirt, and I loved the book. I'm a big fan of Jacqueline Wilson. Her books were just the sort of books that I read in my childhood, especially with Tracy Beaker. I watched the TV programmes religiously. When I posted the blog onto my website, I shared it on Twitter, and I also tagged in Jacqueline Wilson herself, and she tweeted me back, which was so cool. I was so in awe of her just actually acknowledging me on Twitter, let alone, you know, reading my review. Another one that I received was an independent guide to London. I have a New York one that I believe I gave to my friend Hannah because she's going to New York later on in the year. And yeah, these books are really handy if you've never been to this place before. But it was also handy for me because of living in London. There was actually a few things that I didn't actually know existed in London, so this was very good. It's the sort of basic facts that you need to know, along with little extra information and, you know, sort of places to eat, places to go and visit, free places to go and visit, and yeah, it has everything that you need in there. Also an autobiography book. This is You Have Not a Leg to Stand On by D.D. Mayers. And this book is about a guy who sort of has done a lot in his life. He's lived in a Kenyan paradise with his beautiful wife, and then tragedy struck and he ended up in a wheelchair. So it's sort of his journey from, you know, obviously having this tragedy and then knowing how to come out from it and to live life to the full. I mean, it was an average book, and I mean, the blurb on the back says you will laugh and you'll cry, but you won't be able to put the book down. And I didn't laugh and I didn't cry, and I did put the book down several times. So it's okay. It's not fantastic. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I've completely forgot to mention what this video was called. So this is my blogger mail video. So I will be doing a few of these over the next few weeks to show you what I got in the mail. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, please like it below, and I will see you next week for another video. Bye!